It's the GAA Social on BBC Sounds, and do you know what, Oisín?
Where have you taken me?
I have a good feeling.
Yeah?
Good feeling. Might be the same for you, because we're in Tyrone's home, Garvaghy. We're in their new gym, which is amazing.
Some setup, the whole thing.
Yeah, it is fabulous. All credit to the people of Tyrone that made this hub. Championships are not won at Croke Park, is the big poster in the wall.
Championships are won here.
Yeah, there you go. So interesting always to pick up these little bits of signage, but we have a Tyrone great with us, in front of us. He's feeling a bit nervous, Oisín, so he is.
About time.
Which is strange, because he's
About time the roles were reversed.
he's developed into a journalist now.
He'd be critiquing us now.
He's one of a squad of completely unbiased journalists and broadcasters that work with TeamTalk. For people that don't know what TeamTalk is, will probably come out through this, but it's like Tyrone's personal media channel, and it's headed by some fantastic people who volunteer their time, and they would be at absolutely everything with Gaelic games at Tyrone, and they provide brilliant coverage. Maybe slightly one-sided, could be labelled against them.
On the go a while as well.
On the go a good
Stood
while.
the test of time.
But before Noel McGinn had a microphone in his hand where he was asking questions, turns out he was a very good footballer. 3 Ulster Senior Football Championship medals. He played in Ireland final in '86. Teak tough defender. He's looking at me judgingly here, and but what you probably didn't know is that he won a minor championship, not in defence, but where?
In goals.
In goals.
Yeah. Started off in goals.
Former goalkeeper, former defender, pretty much brilliant footballer and successful footballer, teacher.
Retired. Teaching principal.
Teacher and principal?
Teacher and principal, yeah.
Okay, just to make sure people know that you're very important there. Good for critiquing me there. Thank you very much. Teacher's not good enough here. Just to let you know you excelled in the teaching profession. Formerly of St. Mary's Teaching College back in the day, obviously to qualify. And volunteering now. And I got a text message this morning. We'd set up this interview. A lot of time and effort's gone into setting it up. What time is this at again? Which is never a good message to read.
Especially on a Monday morning.
Explain to him it's such and such a time and it's here. Might have a problem. The gentleman who there's a helicopter landing. The gentleman who drives the bus, volunteering people to hospital appointments, things like that, was unable to make it today, and he was going to have to step in. So we thought we had to cancel. I came back and I feel quite bad saying, look, if you have to, that's no problem, but we kind of really won't. We kind of really need you to do this, to put it out the following day, and you accommodated us. So you're here. You're a man on the man.
My wife accommodated. She decided she would do the run.
She's doing the run.
Yeah. So.
Fantastic. Well, as that helicopter in the background floats off.
Oisín thought he was an Armagh.
Yeah.
There's always a welcoming committee when I come down to Tyrone. This is just taking it a step too far.
Yeah,
yes.
Tristan, will we stop? So we've had to make a little edit there because there was a helicopter landing on the pitch, and none other than JP McManus has landed in Garvaghy.
I thought it was Peter Kahneman.
No, Peter Kahneman doesn't get the helicopter treatment. He may think he does, but he doesn't quite get the helicopter treatment. So JP's landed because there's a business lunch going on today, and JP's at it. Another sign of Tyrone doing their thing, so really, really interesting. It may not be. We don't have him on the podcast. It would be a good podcast, wouldn't it?
It would.
But we'll just have to make do with you today, Noel, as best we can. It is good to see you, fella. How is life?
Life's good. Life's good. No complaints. Enjoying what I do, when I do it, and so when you get to my age, there are different priorities, and our priorities and my priorities would be our grandchildren more than anything. So nine grandchildren, and that occupies quite a bit of time, but it's time that we really enjoy, you know.
What age are you now? No.
64.
64?
Yeah. 25th of 12th, 61. Christmas Day.
Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Christmas birthday?
Yeah, I'll tell you a story. my son got tickets for a Neil Delamere concert a number of months ago, and he couldn't go. Something happened, so he asked my wife and I, Carol, did we want the tickets? We said, why not? He said, the only thing is they're in the front row, and Neil Delamere has a habit of picking on people. I said,
he's the comedian, yeah.
so I said to Carol, whatever he asks you, just tell him. One word answers, yes, no. Don't engage. And anyway, asked, what's the name? Noel. No, very good. Noel. And what's your name? Carol. Oh, birthday, Christmas. Yeah. And he just picked on it all night. But it was funny looking back. It's on YouTube somewhere, but one of those things.
And is that where Noel came from?
Yeah, that's where it came from. And Carol, she's the 8th of December, so those Catholics among us will know what the 8th of December is. Go on ahead.
Feast of the Ascension, isn't it?
I think it's the Immaculate Conception.
Immaculate Conception, yeah.
Yeah, one of the holy days.
Don't you try to out Catholic me here now. Don't go there. So listen, life's good. You're full steam ahead. You're retired. You're loving the football. You're at everything. I see you all the time, and I've known you a long time, but I'm not trying to profess that I know you very well, Noel. I remember we ran a night in Arbo for autism.
For Henry Downey's wife.
Yes,
yeah.
Michelle Downey was one of the key dancers, actually. So all the clubs were doing like a dance.
The Loch Shore clubs, wasn't it?
All the Loch Shore and around there, and different clubs connected. Labby were represent. Well, actually, she might have been doing her native Arbo colours. In fairness, in that particular one, Kevin McCloy, Labby were there because Kevin McCloy was dancing, and like it was unbelievable community effort. Ran over 2 nights. You're one of the guest judges. Willie Anderson was the other one. There's a couple.
2 boys know a good bit about dancing.
It was some crack now, and the cutting and their remarks, like Simon Cowell kind of stuff. It was outrageous kind of carry on. But a lot of money was raised for autism.
Marfeld, I remember Thomas. Marfeld Rugby Club had a dancing team as well. Wasn't it?
Yes, the Rinny.
Yeah, the Rinny.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was a real cross community.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, and so that was probably one of the first times I'd really met you. But great fun, great crack, slagging, great, got a real sense of you. And then, look, the football accomplishments were kind of a wee bit before my day. But with TeamTalk and with covering Tyrone matches and Ulster Championship matches and league matches, you or some of your cohorts would be there. Generally, a lot of slagging. A real strong anti-dairy vibe, it must be said, in a nice way, but still very anti-dairy, I must say. But it was great, and I got to know you and like you. I'm not saying that because you're in front of me. And then I was told not so long ago that there was a health diagnosis that just shook me as someone that just knows you a wee bit, which is what?
I've got Parkinson's. And it's one of those things that I wish Parkinson had kept it to himself. But
yes.
By the way, that's a Billy Connolly line. That's not mine.
Yeah.
I knew you had something. My voice. I don't know if you noticed, but I know my voice. I just knew there was something not right. So
really,
yeah. And at the time, I was worried it was something else, but it turned out to be Parkinson's. So that's no big deal.
Right. No big deal.
No, we managed it. No problem. My wife takes me out walking 3 or 4 times a week. We have a 5-mile circuit around Killyclogher, and so as long as we keep active, we're grand,
Yeah.
I always say we because usually her and I together,
Is there a team?
Aye, she's much better centre back than I was.
She's captain.
She's captain, trainer, manager, and coach.
Fantastic. How are you dealing with it? What does it do? What are the implications of that?
Well, the implications are anybody who knows Parkinson's, that there's usually that type of a tremor. And I have that, but the medication's good, and as long as you take the medication consistently. There's not a lot of problems, but there are obviously side effects and things, but no, there are much worse things about,
Yeah. And there are, but it's not to undermine that it's, you notice there's something wrong with your voice, you go to get it checked out, and you're delivered that news. It must have been, a wallop.
Big one actually for men, because I know when there's something, if I feel as if there's something wrong, I'll probably just go, I'll leave it. It'll be grand, and it's very easy not to address these things.
Aye, because my way of dealing with doctors before, when I had an appointment with the doctors, was in and out as quick as you could. I need a prescription, and done and dusted. When I was aware that there was something wrong, I made an appointment with a doctor, and when I went over, he says, Dr. Jackson says, Noel, I have 2 girls from Queen's who are 5th-year students, medical students. They would like to do your appointment today. Do you mind? I said, no problem, that's great. He said, look, I'll pop in and out, and if there's any questions or any concerns, I'll deal with them, So these 2 girls, being as thorough, obviously, 25 minutes in, they had all this stuff written down, and he popped his head in, is everything all right? The girl said, yeah, no problem. So we come in 10 minutes later, is everything all right? And at this stage we were on 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And we had just finished the consultation, and he says, well, then he asked one of the students, give us feedback, so she started telling them about what was wrong and so on. He says to me, you never mentioned this, Noel? I says, well, you never asked me. I said, but I was sort of worried, I didn't want to be asking, So then from that we proceeded to consultants, looking at that, and MRI and all the rest, and the diagnosis was arrived at, so that's how it happened,
Do you remember being told, Noel, who told you the news?
Oh no, the guy, Dr. Fergal McVeary, who lives in Killyclogher actually, as the consultant, and showed me where we were and how we were progressing, But as I say, look, it's...
How does that come about? Is it hereditary, or...?
I don't know actually if it is or not, I mean, I'm just thinking, another big Ollie Hamilton, you remember
Yes.
Ollie? Ollie has it too,
Yeah.
And there's a couple of other guys who that I know who play football who had it, so I don't know if there's anything there, but there's nobody, like I come from a big family, there's 13 of us, and none of them ever had Parkinson's, A couple of them had cancer, but not Parkinson's.
Yeah.
So it can't be hereditary, because Mummy and Daddy didn't have it either,
Mm-hmm. And how are you dealing with it?
Grand.
How did you deal with it at the start? Did you automatically go to grand, or did it take you? It must have took you maybe a bit of time just to digest that information.
It did. It took a bit of time, and I sort of at the start, my wife was probably being too gentle with me, She's not now, but I was. I was just feeling a little bit sorry for myself, as you would, but we got that sorted, and now it's fine, The grandchildren, that's the ones. I'm not saying it's a side effect, but I sleep quite a bit. If I sit down to watch football, usually Premier League with both the pants and everything, I fall asleep, But the odd snooze, so the kids know to come in, and what they love doing is catching grand or sleeping, because they enjoy waking them up.
Yeah.
But
Who when you think of Parkinson's, who is the one person who springs to mind?
Billy Connolly.
Is Michael J. Fox, is he?
Michael J. Fox had it as well.
Because that's what you do, isn't it? Don't you go to the most extreme cases and the cases that are very well known? Did you do that?
No. I'm a big Billy Connolly fan, so I'd seen his stuff all as he charted that whole course of how he dealt with it and how, and when I look back now, there were so many similarities.
Right.
His voice, his gait, all that type of thing, And I'm aware now that my walking, and I keep saying to my wife that there's the mystery steps. There's no step there at all, but I stumble.
Yeah.
That type of thing happens. We just laugh at it. It's just one of those things that
Yeah. What was the lowest point? You're looking a good place now, but what was the lowest point?
Relegation to Division 2 last year.
You're so Tyrone, aren't you? You just can't help it from this part of the world, can you?
But health-wise, there was no low points, Thomas. That's the truth. I mean, because I knew it wasn't a terminal illness or anything else, I was great. I can tick that box and move on. You know, we're all right. Like.
It seems like just from what you're saying there, it's nearly that. But we've all our challenges and our cross to carry, as people would say. My granny used to always say that, and. But if you,
I'll take it.
If you had to put your problems in the middle and somebody else's, you'd take your own back.
Do you remember? I'm sure you do. Rob Burrows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I was amazed by Rob Burrows, and far more amazed by Kevin Simpson. You know what he did. And I remember thinking his symptoms at the start were quite similar to, and you mentioned Oisin there that. You fear the worst, or you research the worst, and that's why when Dr. McVeigh gave me the news, it wasn't hard to cope with, you know.
Yeah.
It could have been a whole lot worse. So, and I'm not gonna be dramatic about it, but it could have been a whole lot worse. So,
it's that comfort blanket, isn't it? You hear it so often in life. It could have been worse.
Oh, aye.
And there is a comfort with that, isn't there? It's an acceptance of dealing with bad news. Because
but it is also an acceptance of realising, you know, there are people so much really badly off compared to what I have, you know.
Yeah. And you said at the start, you know, feeling a wee bit sorry for yourself, but you quickly, snapped out of that. During that time, what were your thoughts, Noel? What were you kind of thinking? Because there has to be a period, even though it could be worse, it's not great and it's not what you want, and trying to process that
to a point, Thomas. Yeah, but you don't want people, when we go walking in the country, we go walking around the town, because you go around the town, and I carry a stick with me all the time when I walk, right, and people say, are you limp? I say, no, that's to keep dogs away first and foremost, you know. And the second thing is, what happens invariably around the town, people stop and ask you how you are.
Yeah.
And I need to have something to hold on to, because I suffer from lighthead. Okay. It's not vertigo, it's part of the illness. And I'll be sort of all over the place, you know.
Right.
So that's... And then the other thing is looking for words. You know, when I ask you a question, or you ask me, and I'm struggling to find a word, and that happens quite a bit, you know.
Yeah.
But in the great scheme of things, we can all look forward for as long as we want. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to kill you, you know.
Yeah, fantastic. It's such a beautiful attitude, isn't it, Oisin?
No, it is, and it is hard. That's a hard place to get there. Like, you know what I mean? I know, like, we like to, you know,
macho.
Yeah, puff our chests out and think, you know, regardless. But like, you've definitely got a good mindset on it, because, as you say, it could be a lot worse. But I suppose initially when you receive that news, that's the tough part.
Yeah,
I mean, it's processing it then and getting to where you are now.
It's a tough part, actually, too. But when you realise what it is compared to what it could have been, you know, so it's checks and balances, you know.
Yeah. How's Carol? How's she been throughout it all? Because it's a lot for...
Carol was retired a couple of years ago. She was a nurse for 42 years.
Right. And
she dealt with things like the Uma bomb and, you know, major trauma. She was a kidney dialysis nurse. She then became a nurse tutor, so she taught and taught courses at university level and so on. So she was from a very, very caring profession, but people who are experienced, particularly nurses, tend to know how to deal with situations, and if they've got worries or tears they need to shed, they do it, but they don't do it publicly, and she doesn't. She's the most resilient person I know, and living with me can't be easy, I can tell you, but she manages the best, and she runs a house with grandchildren. Our house never empties.
Yeah. And
I sometimes think, Jesus, we're like one of those coffee docks type places where the kids just call in to get fed and then clear off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's brilliant. She's brilliant.
Lovely though, isn't it?
Oh, our Sunday afternoons are what you want family lives to be. If I'm not off at football, we come in and the playroom is just a mess. Yeah. That's the way it should be, you know.
And I ask that because it's always, the person, but then it's the people around you. Your family, you have 4 children, don't you?
4, well, I said children, the eldest is 42.
Yeah, right. Okay, 4.
Yeah,
4
3 girls.
Big babies then.
Big babies.
4 big babies, yeah. And then I suppose with Carl as well, like I do find people in the medical profession, it's just that they've the game face on, they're so good at it. But if it hits your home, it's presumably different as well. No.
Yeah. But again, if you have the knowledge and the experience, and you put all those things together, and it's not a major. I mean, as I keep saying, it's not a killer disease by any stretch of the imagination. It's something you have to deal with, and she manages it so well. Again, years and years of experience.
You must be happy with how you're dealing with it.
Well, happy insofar as, listen, life's good, and it really, when I say that, people say to me, "How are you?" I said, "Never better, 100%," and I am, because I'm nearly 65.
Yeah.
And back 20 years ago, 65, when we were growing up, some guy at 65 was an old man.
Yeah.
I think I'm not an old man, or don't feel it, or don't. I hope I don't look it.
No.
But no, I'm happy with how things are.
Brilliant.
Yeah. All we need is another All-Ireland, and I'll be absolutely.
Yeah, don't be greedy now. Don't be greedy.
I often think about our man. I think that was a team we should have won more than what you did. You feel that sometimes, Archie, when you.
Yeah, I also do feel though.
See, he's rubbing it in now. You see that?
He's started.
You see the way nothing as bad as being condescending, isn't it?
I do feel actually though. A lot of people do say that, and I do feel we definitely could have maybe eked out another 1 or 2, but I do always feel about 2002 when we did win the All-Ireland that we had no real injuries the whole year. Like what team goes through a year with no injuries? So we probably had a wee bits and pieces of luck along the way as well. And I think you need all of those to win an All-Ireland. And I look now, and it feels as if it's as hard now as it was back then. You look at the teams that are trying to bridge the gap and all, and at that time, that's all we were trying to do was bridge a gap. But sort of glad you brought it up now, because.
Well, do you see when you think back to the success that you achieved, how important was Crossmaglen's success in terms of self-belief, and in terms of experience, and in terms of knowing that you could compete with the highest club players, and then the only difference was a jersey?
He's interviewing me now.
Sorry, I didn't realise the GAA Social had a couple of new presenter instead of two.
I suppose the big thing is that you have. Somebody has to do something that has never been done before. And I think with Armagh, there was a history of going to Croke Park and just not performing, not getting the results. And I think once we won the All-Ireland, then things changed, because there was a belief. Like, you're sitting beside somebody in change room and they're looking at you going, I'm better than him, or I'm as good as him. He's after winning All-Ireland, maybe at club level. But if we pool all the resources, which, let's face it, we're from 3 counties that wouldn't have always done that. We never really pooled the resources properly, and when we did, it culminated in All-Ireland, a couple of All-Irelands, and 3 All-Irelands, 4 All-Irelands. Nearly forgot about the last one. But at that time, those 3 All-Irelands were it changed the whole landscape, I think, as far as football and Ulster football is concerned.
You were hugely successful. See the way you asked that question? Like, Armagh were hugely successful, but you only won the 1 All-Ireland.
Yeah.
You've gone straight to that point, isn't that it? And that is the definition.
They were the best team in Ireland for longer and deserved more than one. Yeah.
Well, 04 seemed to be. Was that day in Croke Park when Tyrone got knocked out the same double header as Armagh? And that felt like a missed opportunity for both. And that's not taking anything away from Anna, who, like, we all remember the Tom Brewster point. Obviously you more than most. But Tyrone lost to Mayo that day as well. And
Mayo's a team we couldn't beat. For some reason, Mayo and Monaghan were 2 teams that we struggled with,
That definitely softened the blow on the way up the road that day, I have to say.
You've said that before.
But
we felt the same.
But that was you were in and around at that time. You obviously played through a time where Tyrone, could have won an All Ireland as well and missed out. And I always think we were, as much as we could have won another one, we were lucky that we didn't miss out completely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
when you think of the great team, the 77 team, Tom McCreesh and
Yeah.
all those guys, Jimmy Smith and people like that who didn't,
definitely, 100%. And all the lads who I soldiered with in my initial period with Armagh, unbelievable footballers, unbelievable dedication, but we just couldn't get it together.
Yeah.
And do you feel that, 86 Tyrone get to an All-Ireland final, do you feel that it's just we didn't hit that promised land in your playing days?
There's so many things that you look back that we things that had to come together, we possibly could have won it. People talked about Kevin McCabe's penalty, but the injuries cost us. We didn't have a great strength in our depth to our panel. So when McKenna got injured and Lynch got injured, those were two huge, particularly Eugene, because we knew all we had to do was get the ball to him. He was going to win it, and he was going to get us a free, and take the pressure off. But things just conspired against us, Mickey McClure come through just shortly after the penalty. Next attack come through, cut from the right hand side, stood in and Charlie Nelligan and blasted the ball. It just over the bar, 6 inches. And had we hit that one, Kerry weren't coming back. And I would have loved to have played the game as it's played now, because you could play it in your sleep.
Yeah.
I could play it in my bedroom slippers. I mean, the way you just, zone off zone off. I just couldn't, because I'm thinking of when we played against Armagh, guys like Johnny Corvin, and Jesus, you couldn't take your hand out. You couldn't allow them any latitude at all. I mean, they just would have picked your pocket and made you, hung you out to dry.
Yeah.
So before the rule changes, what did you think of the game then?
Before the rule, what
Back
was
in the
happening?
last
15 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
Well, I'll tell you what it was. It was a slow death. That's what it was. It was awful. I couldn't look. I really found it very, very difficult. And what I noticed was that every time you did a post-match interview, it was the same mundane, rubbishy, and that reflected the game,
Yeah.
And the changes that were made were excellent. But I think there's more to come, or more required, if we really want to make this.
What?
Well, one of the things I liked, and I've argued with us for quite a while, is the kick out, right? That the minute the ball goes dead, either wide or over the bar, keeper should be able to pick the next ball up at the side of the post, get out to the 14-metre line and pop it out, and away you go. So the game is continuously in the move. And
So he doesn't have to set it down?
not at all. And he doesn't have to wait till the players, now players, you've got
outside the area.
to get outside the area. And
Yeah. Balls in play.
balls in play right away, and experiment with it. Use the McKenna Cup where
The amount of times I seen at the weekend where the kick out slowed down because there's an extra ball in the pitch. That's
but that's one of those things that I'm not saying which team that did it first, but there was obviously.
I think it's the one
People
thing that me and Mickey Hart have consistently agreed on, is that
Wouldn't be too many of them now.
that we agree on.
Yeah.
No, I think this is it. That
Just the one.
yeah,
Just the one.
that he goes, he be in the studio like there's nothing upsets him more than that. Like. I did take the chicken and salad sandwich one day though, and he was
Not happy.
left with
Tuna.
no cucumber and something.
Egg mayo.
So I don't know.
That's not a good look now.
But apart from that, it's that kick out thing, and that thing that what you're talking about there makes perfect sense.
I've never heard that before. I've never heard anybody suggest.
No.
No.
Well, we argue about it all the time.
I've actually never.
I just say I'd love to see it.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I love to see
Yeah,
it.
it keeps it rolling, doesn't it?
Yeah,
just have never heard
and
it
what you'll find
put
is
like
that guys will respond because forwards will have to get back, or half backs who
Yeah.
pushed up will have to get back because the long kick's coming, And just, I think it'd be something to experiment with anyway, to see. And if it works, it works. If it improves the game, great. If it doesn't, then you get rid of it and move on.
Good suggestion. I like the sound of it.
What's the of the new rules? What's your favourite one?
I don't dislike any of them. I'm happy enough with
Just
with the games.
continuing on from what you're saying, that the solo and go, I think, is something that has really helped move the thing along. Even just the skirmishes you used to have and different things. You don't have time anymore. It's the same. Marty Clark used to talk about the Aussie rules, and he used to say about like there'll be a fight going on down there, but referees are going to play on, so you can fight away or you can play the game.
Yeah, hurling's exactly. I watched enough hurling matches. The referee, even All Ireland finals, you watch it. Not so much on TV, but you need to be there to see. He blows the whistle for the final, then he takes off running. Now, they could be killing each other behind, knocking, but eventually realize there's a game on. We need to continue to play. But that's so you don't need to worry about the Aussie rules. We have it in our own games here. But the refs, I think that hurling, there's a bit we could learn from them too.
Big time.
So you mentioned about the post-match interview. So for people that are not quite aware of TeamTalk, what is it? Because we've people listen to this all over the world. So
TeamTalk Mag is an online GAA resource for Tyrone, owned, managed, and delivered by the Tyrone Taliban. As Paddy Heaney wants to. Paddy came here one night to some of the chat shows, and he says when he sat down, looking out at the crowd and the all sitting looking at Paddy. Paddy says it was quite intimidating. It was like being interviewed by the Tyrone Taliban, But no, it's online, and it began way back. The Corn Brothers, Kenny and Chris, started as a magazine way back in the early years of its formation. Yeah, and it's fantastic. I mean, then the resource of having those magazines, fabulous full colour, it was a brilliant concept.
Yeah.
But I suppose the financial reality of 2008 and around that time brought it down to its knees, and we took it over shortly after. I took it over shortly after, and we decided to have it on an online platform, and we tried wee things which some worked, some didn't, but now, if you want information on Tyrone GAA, generally, we would have most of it.
Yeah.
And our numbers are good. We get somewhere close to 3 million hits a month on what we do, And
fantastic.
It's pretty good,
Who's all involved in it?
Kevin Kelly and myself and Damien Harvey would do most of the bits and pieces.
Kevin's from Galway.
Yeah.
Damien's Cookstown.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of commentary, post-match interviews.
Yeah, and we do 2 chat shows a week as well, 2 Zoom calls where we chat about matches and what's coming up, schools, football, whatever. We try to cover as much as we can. Sometimes it's not possible. I would have people say to me, "You didn't go to such and such match." I said, "No, I couldn't." You have to have a life as well.
Yeah. What do you think about that media engagement with players management now? You're just a fascinating person to actually ask this because you've played, you've managed, which we haven't even come on to yet, and you're now in a way in the media world, but you're a GAA person through and through. Just what do you make of it?
I think back to whenever I played, and the media was different then because it was nearly all printed media. There was nothing else, right? And generally, you didn't have too much to worry about. If you said something wrong, well, it wasn't too hard to have a word with the journalist. They maybe might change his story or whatever, or change his comments. But talking to guys now, when I see the growth and confidence of young footballers and young hurlers who are now so used to having a camera there and seeing it. It's up on the internet before they even get home.
Yeah.
By the time they get home, it's been viewed maybe a couple of thousand times, whatever. So I think that aspect of it is brilliant because it helps lads develop confidence and develops trust as well between us, the media part, and the young fellas.
Me and Thomas have been lucky. We've got some decent stuff out of players. We had Conor Whelan, obviously, a couple of weeks ago. So there is definitely
players in season. Is always the but people that, and they've come out of it well. I mean, we're not asking them the specifics of the game coming up that weekend.
Do you see a massive difference between your interview, say, after an inter-county game or on a club game?
Oh, surely, yeah, absolutely. The young fellas, again, those who the clubs are generally cute enough about who they send out. They're not totally prescriptive in that, but there is definitely quite a difference in people who are not who are more experienced. You can see it in how they approach things, how they avoid questions.
Yeah,
but they're just don't they? Doesn't it feel a lot more? I was going to say loose. Loose is the wrong word.
Open,
relaxed.
Yeah,
just a lot more relaxed.
Yeah,
open. Yeah,
it certainly is.
But it's real. Like, that's what I like about it. It's real, and if you're playing adult football now, you've grown up with TeamTalk.
Yeah.
Those lads probably were interviewed after an under-16 match 10 years previously. They know, particularly the three of you, and there's a few more as well, but definitely those three.
Yeah, John McChrystal will be very, very good as well. Yes. I was just thinking, we Tyrone played Armagh, or played Derry in a McKenna Cup final in Armagh a number of years ago, and Damien Barton and Tony Scullion were the management team, you know. And at the end of the match, we went over for the interview just there in the stand, and I got there first, so I started the interview when we had it on the camera, you know. And Tony being as passionate as he was, and there was maybe 8 or 10 journalists come in as the interview started, and I asked Tony the first question, and he chatted away, and I went on to the next one, and suddenly I realised nobody else was asking. They were all recording. It was the best interview ever, because Tony being Tony, he got it right from the heart, and it was class. And at the end of the 20 minutes or something, the battery on the phone was going, and I said to Tony, "Thank you very, very much," and we stopped, and I was waiting for somebody. All the journalists just turned and walked away.
But did you invoice them?
I don't know.
Must that part right. But it's still online somewhere. But it was a brilliant. I would say brilliant answers from.
Yeah.
It was just class.
Who's your favourite? Who's the favourite one you've ever interviewed?
Ever interviewed? Oh, Jesus. So many really good interviewers. These guys are really good. Eugene McKenna is very good. Jonathan Burns is very, very good. I never thought who's the best, but those two guys would stand out in terms of
speak well,
very articulate, very intelligent.
Have you ever had anybody there that got their back up a bit?
Oh, aye.
Every week.
Oisin hadn't even finished the question. Yes, why?
And there's times that we were denied access to players,
right?
And told that we wouldn't get any interviews this week. This is grand. I wasn't going to lose any sleep over it, you know. Mm-hmm. We just went on to somebody else.
And that's the cutting edge of it that we face daily. We've talked about your playing, you've talked about your media. Haven't touched upon the management side. Dromore,
yeah.
Ryan McManaman's club, as well as many others. Martin Sludden, referee, Tyrone chairman, Dromore now. And Colin
Martin's also a very, very good personal friend of mine. We used to do a lot of running, a lot of walking together. You know?
Is that right?
Yeah.
He's well into Tyrone, isn't he? When you think about the referee and obviously the club side, he's now chair. I mean, he's
the funny thing is that most people probably remember him for the
Louth Meath.
The Louth Meath, and you see, and I told him before the match started. I said, "Martin, listen, we were out walking." I said, "Look, it's Meath, right? So the minute they take the toss, whoever calls the toss, send him off." I said, "This Meath, you know, just give them nothing."
Yeah.
And he laughed about it, you know.
Okay.
But I remember watching the match that day on television, and my wife were having dinner, and I was shouting at the TV, I said, "Jesus, Martin, just do it. Blow the bloody game up. Blow the game up, you know." And had he blown the game up when he should have, I do believe that.
No controversy.
And not only would there be no controversy, Oisin, he probably would have got the All-Ireland final because he had refereed so well up there, you know. But look, Martin is one of the soundest men.
Yeah.
If I was stuck in somewhere in the middle of nowhere and I needed a lift, he'd be one of the first men I'd be ringing, you know.
Yeah. I would meet him regular. I would meet him regular, and he's full on Tyrone.
Oh,
like, you know,
top man. Yeah.
yeah.
But Dromore, it's his club, and he's very, very loyal to them, very passionate about them, you know.
I wasn't mad about him now when he refereed.
Were you not rushing?
No.
Well,
When he refereed us, I mean.
Aye.
refereed us.
Who did you rate highly in terms of refereeing Oisin when you were playing?
Nobody.
Did you reckon they just didn't know the rules or they're anti-cross?
Yeah. You don't listen to this podcast, do you? he's got an issue there.
No, look, we had it like a sort of a. There was quite a tight little refereeing bunch around at that time.
Cartel?
Pat McGinn and Brian White and a few boys at GAA were decent.
Did you like Pat?
Never give me a big pile of frees now.
Everybody seems to like Pat.
I like Pat as a person.
No,
but
I'm talking. I know everybody likes you.
As a referee.
No, you didn't really know.
No, well, you see, people like the fact that the game was, he let the game flow, and he was very practical about, and he knew the game. He's obviously played the game, but I would have liked a few more frees just.
I thought he made the rules up as he went along.
But that's why people kind of liked him, because he brought that sort of
common sense.
Yeah, you think people.
Micheál Greenan was the same, you know. I quite like Micheál, you know. All he used to give me was cards, but
Okay.
You deserved them though.
you
some of that, you're absolutely right, Josh.
But you led Dromore to the first ever senior championship.
No, I didn't lead them. I was manager, but this was a group who did they did their talking and their work.
Well, I thought I got it wrong, but I know I got it right. But you're arguing, you're bickering over terminology.
No. I mean,
it's a nice insight into you. Okay, you didn't lead them.
No, absolutely not.
You managed,
but they were a brilliant set of players.
Okay. That was a big thing.
Big thing. They had never won a championship, and there was all talks about curses and all.
What year was that?
2007.
And there was the curse conversation was very real. I remember that.
Oh, I heard.
What was the curse?
The curse was that they would never won a championship when some member of some team there was some story about them being disrespectful at a wake or something.
Yeah. So something similar of sorts to the Mayo
thing. Yeah. Somewhere Mayo on a smaller basis, I suppose you would say.
Okay.
But there was talk that it was a curse, but I don't believe in that now.
Well,
if you're good enough, you'll win.
Yeah, and that was a big thing.
Oh, aye. So in 2006, Carrickmore beat us after extra time in a replay semi-final, and we knew we were on the right path. What we were doing was working out. And then in 2007, our first league match of the year was against Galway in Dromore, and Galway beat us in the league, the opening game. And the next team to beat us after that year was Crossmaglen in the semi-final of the Ulster Club.
Wow.
We won
everything.
Yeah, because we knew what we were doing. We knew we were on the right track, you know. So that broke the hoodoo on the championship, and they've won a couple since. So I love Dromore. Dromore people are great. You know?
And then the following year, trying to retain it, that then becomes it's a Tyrone problem. Full stop. To be fair,
it is. Yep. And then I got into handling at the end of the final.
What was the handling?
I can't remember which of the players it was, but the game ended in a draw, and I went onto the pitch to speak to Colin McCullough, and I can't remember just what happened, but it ended up the guy just came into my personal space, and I had my headbutt, and it was all over TV, you know, primary school principal. Wasn't good days. I think my missus said, great woman that she is, she put up with a lot, but that was awful time. My own fault, you know. I did what I did, and I ended up getting 72 weeks suspension for it, you know.
It affected you?
Oh, Thomas. It more than affected. I mean, I nearly lost my job. Like.
Mm-hmm. Where did that walk with your job?
What happened? Obviously the match was played on Sunday, and
It was caught in camera, wasn't it? It was
I was caught
streamed,
on camera, yeah. And I went into school the next morning, and everybody was walking on eggshells, you know. But they shouldn't have been, because I saw it. But I got a phone call one day from that week. I can't remember if it was a Wednesday or Thursday, from a member of the Board of Governors, and that they wanted to chat to me, you know. And I said, that's grand, no problem. So I spoke to my union representative, and his advice was to do nothing till he arrived to speak. So CCMS and the governors were having a discussion on it, and he arrived in, and there was a quick exchange of views, and the conversation was that we would postpone whatever sanction they were going to apply before, just in case if there was any doing things wrong, you know. So anyway, look, there's so many things that I'd like to say, but I can't say about it because I'm aware of the people who are involved. But I nearly lost my job, and it would be my own fault because it was. But anyway, it put an end to the management.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're doing something which is away from your job. Was that your argument, or
No, I
you held your hands up?
yeah. Look, I said that. I mean, I had an interview in the Irish News. I said, look, I apologise. Totally my fault. Nothing. I was completely wrong. Shouldn't have done it. And
You see the way you answered that, Noel? You've taken full ownership of it. And then Oisin asked you a question there nearly, well, you know, this is away from your workplace, which is right. A lot of people will think exactly he said, but you bit back at him there and you're like, no, you didn't go down that path. You've owned it, you've accepted it, you've apologised. And there's something lovely about that. Like we've all, you know, done things on a pitch.
oh, if I could wind the clock back, of all the things in life that there are, the one thing that I'd love to wind that back and erase it would be that.
Yeah.
But I would say that it's amazing. You know, people say there's a learning and everything, and I know there's a learning in that because I know things that happened since that wouldn't have happened had I not done what I did. You know, so
Like what? Like if there's something you can feel.
I'd rather not touch it.
Okay. But that lesson learned from that meant that you were more capable of dealing with it in a better way.
Absolutely, and how I dealt with people, you know.
And that's ownership, isn't it? Like that's what that comes from. That comes from ownership over not blaming somebody else, not blaming what.
Look, I was totally to blame, you know, or not to blame. I have to put my hands up and say, yeah, the responsibility was totally mine, you know, and nobody else's.
And did you actually have to apologise to the person that you had? What way did that work? Or Clonoe? It was against Clonoe, wasn't it?
They didn't give a shit. They just won the championship. They didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't. But I've been in Clonoe quite a few times since.
Oh, I know that. I know that. Thank you for talking around that, actually, Noel, because I think it's lovely to hear. You don't really hear it a lot. People just take.
I don't know if you call it lovely.
I think it is. I think it is lovely to hear someone hands up, take ownership, no excuse, no nothing. I think there is something really nice about that. The incident, not so much, and I get that. But I think ownership and making peace with it is actually a lovely thing. And you know,
was it just that put you off the management down from that point?
I went to, or I was asked to manage Lochmacrory. We had lost 5 of our first 6 matches, and I was thinking my P45s were bound to be in the post at some stage, you know. But we sat down with the lads and had a good chat, and we won the next 9 matches in a row. Ended up getting beaten in a promotion playoff by Muirtown, and the chemistry, as they often talk about, the chemistry wasn't there. So that's
not finished.
Finished that.
Finished that.
Yeah.
Tyrone, Killyclogher haven't touched teaching. What's the best thing about being a teacher?
Best thing about being people I'll probably answer this slightly differently. People say to me, "What do you miss? Do you miss anything?" I do. I miss the crack with the staff, and the crack with the kids. We were a 5-teacher school. We had assemblies every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the way it was worked when we started off with the assembly was that each of the teachers would take an assembly on a different day. So and on the Monday I took assembly. I said a few prayers and told a story or two, or maybe somebody's birthday the weekend, or somebody was at a wedding the weekend, or somebody's granny wasn't well. They said a prayer for it, whatever it was. But then I used to say, "Here, listen," I said to the girls, "Go easy and have a cup of tea. I'll take the assembly each morning." And that's the way it was. Took assembly, but the Waynes always went to class laughing and in good form, you know, until the teachers then, one of them said to me one time, "You know, it's all right for you doing what you do, but you bollocks, you send those kids into us and they'll be as high as kites, and it takes us to break time." So I thought, see, having Waynes who were happy and laughing and smiling, give me that. I love that. Love that. You know, and the fact too that the children understood some of my quirky jokes.
Yeah.
Because not everybody does, you know.
Listen, we're going to have to wrap it up there. We could talk all day, Noel. Look, thank you very much for being so open around. I think your attitude's first class, fella. First class. I really mean that. And it's always a delight to see you in around games and that there. Long may that continue. Tyrone out of the Ulster Championship. Donegal out of the Ulster Championship. Not too many saw that coming.
No, I was just wondering how many people would have had the bet on Roscommon and Down to win.
He probably didn't. Like, yeah.
Sorry, Ashley.
I think that's a hat trick for the year.
Yeah,
people
flat out, like,
up in
flat to the mat.
That was not.
No, just to be clear, I didn't.
Yeah, right. But even called.
It's okay, no, relax.
Relax.
How many people would have called that, Ashley? You know, that was quite a surprise on the weekend. I mean,
Do you think will Tyrone recover?
Yep. I was here on Saturday morning. The under 17 minor hurdlers were playing on Saturday, and my grandson was on the panel, so I was up to watch it. We were up early, and the Tyrone seniors were out training, and I was watching them, and they are in
Bit of bite.
There's a bit of it, yeah. They're in good shape. So, I mean, down the question has to be asked: well, who will be the first Ulster team to get to level up Down's current total number of all Irelands? You know, Tyrone at 4, but are they good enough to
reach Down's 5?
Yeah.
Do you think they are?
No, not this year. Not this year. No. Don't broadcast that, for God's sake.
That's going to be the promo bit that we're going to. I would look at it. I mean, sensibly talking, you'd think Armagh or Tyrone are just not at that top level yet, but you know, they've stuff coming.
I wonder though.
Stuff coming.
I wonder though after the weekend.
It's opened it up.
Yeah, has the pack? I wonder has the pack tightened, and if Kerry are going to go through the rest of the year with bodies missing, and Donegal, Langan, if he is out, and Donegal are a shadow of what they had been earlier in the year. Now, I have no doubt they'll bounce back. But I'm just saying, like it definitely has piqued the interest of a lot of other counties, I think.
Big time. If you were asked to say 2 counties who could possibly beat Kerry in the All Ireland, I mean, what 2 would? I mean, I look at the team. I actually predicted Donegal won the All Ireland this year, way back, you know. But when I see what's happened over the last week, I mean, with the 20s as well, because
yeah,
that was a huge one for Tyrone, but a massive own goal for Donegal, you know, to be out of the 20s and to be out of the Ulster Championship. Nobody would have seen that coming.
Yeah.
But who's
the second team?
Who's the second team that could beat Kerry?
I don't know. Armagh, Galway.
Galway, possibly.
Yeah, well, Galway got a tight against Leitrim at the weekend as well. But
what do you always see games together?
Improve.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, gents, we'll wrap it up there.
Thanks, Noel.
No, thank you, fella. Thank you. Really
you
appreciate it. No, we're still recording. Yeah, no, it's all right. Yeah, a man of your media experience should know that. In fairness.
No, we again. Oh, look at this GAA. It's very very impressive.
Have you ever seen a mic cube before?
We just have weak cameras on our
You see,
phones, you know.
Noel, if you put that there,
Then again, I suppose my TV license has to pay for.
just you keep paying it, fella. All right, just you keep paying it.
I'm also the only person in our state that.
Keep paying it. Don't break the rules.
I'm going to go around tonight and say, right, just a quick inquiry here.
Yeah, no, it's right. Well, look,
I was what through BBC's finest today.
this man drives a Ferrari and they're very expensive to run these days, you know. So keep paying it. Them little mic cubes, they prevent the wind. So next time you're in TeamTalk, you slip that over the phone.
I laugh that they prevent the wind. I can tell you something, when you've had as much broccoli and Brussels sprouts as I have, nothing prevents the wind. You know. I just hoping they're not too sensitive.
On that note, we shall wrap it up. Look, thank you for being so open, particularly in the Parkinson stuff. I think it was lovely just to hear how you're dealing with it and managing it. And you know what? Life's good.
Life's good.
Which is lovely to hear.
Long at last.
But that stuff can always be triggering for people and some of our listeners listening in. So, look, if you've been affected, or if you have been affected by anything you've heard there, really useful action line at bbc.co.uk/action line. And just in case, you know, there's a great resource in there. But the positivity coming out from you, Noel, long may it continue, fella. I'll see you along the side of many's a pitch, please God, moving forward. Tyrone and not Tyrone, but mainly Tyrone, I would imagine. And we, please God, we will see you soon. Great to have him on, wasn't it, Osh?
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Noel, and gives us an insight into that, and also just your life and, you know, how football and sport has sort of shaped everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that resilience, there's no doubt that a lot of that resilience comes from, you know, what you've been through football-wise and everything else. So thanks a million for coming on.
And by the way, last week when I was ringing him and he was mulling it over if he would come on, and we were giving a sense of what we may or may not be talking about, and he said you would chat to Carl. So I rang him back the next night, never answered the phone. Never got back to me either. It was late enough when I called, but in fairness. Hung up the phone, grand, he'll probably get back to me. Was online. What did I see? Picture of him getting the Freedom of the Borough. Omagh and Fermanagh District Council.
Yeah.
You picked up what? Civic Award?
Civic Award, yeah.
For what?
I can't understand. No, just contribution to sport and life.
Yeah.
Does that mean you can drive your herd of sheep through the town and all that?
Only when it's dark.
You want to start, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they're allowing to drive the sheep up across Healy Park.
As a Killyclogher man, you'd like to do that too.
Well, see, you have to remember that Healy Park is in Killyclogher parish.
Ah.
You know, it's the second pitch in our parish.
Okay. Right. We're definitely not getting into that. No more rows, boy. No more rows. Well, look, it's a lovely compliment to you, isn't it? It's nice to be recognised. I know you're not making a big deal out of it.
No, but
it's a nice compliment.
Yeah, the number of people, there was quite a few guys from 86 were there, quite a few fellas that I would have known down through the years and that, and people from education, people from, obviously my own family and that. And for our grandchildren and even our kids, they thought it was brilliant. They couldn't get over what it was, and they heard stories that they wouldn't have grown up with, you know, because it would happen even before they were born. So bits and pieces of tall tales and yarns from way back, you know, it was good. It was much better than I had expected it to be.
Good. Glad to hear it. Go well, fella. Enjoy it. We have... with the Armagh Down game live on the BBC this weekend. What are you laughing about?
I thought you were gonna make an error there.
No. That's RT that make that. That's RT that made that error, not BBC. As Conor Laverty's phone suggests. Conor Laverty spoke well at the weekend, didn't he? Like, you know, his post-match, I just thought he spoke really, really well, and you got the feeling from him, didn't you? You know, it wasn't really overly controlled. I'm sure it was to an extent. He seemed to speak very authentically, and you got it. Like, you got it.
You love to hear it from the heart, don't you?
You do.
You love to hear that passion.
You absolutely do. Okay, we will have live coverage this weekend, Armagh against Down. Really looking forward to it. 2 Ulster semi-finals this weekend, and BBC have the rights for the Sunday semi-finals. So that means we are not allowed to broadcast the Saturday semi-final, which will be Monaghan against Derry. So by the end of the weekend, we'll know who's in the Ulster final, and as ever, we'll be back Sunday night with the GAA Social podcast. But from the great Noel McGinn, the great Oisin McConville, and myself, thanks for listening.